The ultimate canine warriors, Doberman versus Malinois. What happens when speed meets strategy and raw power clashes with tactical precision? In one corner, the sleek, fearless Doberman. In the other, the lightning-fast and relentlessly intelligent Belgian Malinois. Who dominates the battlefield? Who wins in a head-to-head showdown? Stay tuned, because the answer might just shock you. Two of the most elite canine warriors face off today. The Doberman, known for its striking look and fearless loyalty, and the Belgian Malinois, the Special Forces favorite, agile, tactical, and dangerously smart. In this epic comparison, we'll break down their strengths, test their limits, and declare one true champion. Don't blink, the fight begins now. Alright, welcome to the channel, folks. I'm your host from Cars HD, and man, do we have a crazy matchup for you today. We're stepping away from the horsepower of engines and diving deep into the raw, primal power of two of the most badass dog breeds on the planet. We're talking about the Doberman Pinscher versus the Belgian Malinois. These aren't your average house pets, people. These are highly specialized, incredibly capable animals, each bred for serious work. We're going to break down everything. Their history, their physical attributes, their intelligence, their combat capabilities. It's going to be intense, so buckle up. Forged in purpose, the origins of two titans. So let's get into where these animals even come from, man. It's fascinating stuff. First up, the Doberman Pinscher. This breed, it's got a very specific origin story, right? We're talking late 19th century Germany. And the guy behind it, Carl Friedrich Louis Doberman? No, not a typo. His name had two N's. He was a tax collector. Now, you can imagine being a tax collector back then, probably not the most popular dude in town. He needed a dog that was more than just a companion. He needed serious protection. He wanted a dog that was intimidating, loyal, and smart enough to know when to turn it on. It's a trip to think about how a specific need like that can shape an entire breed. He wasn't just messing around, this Doberman guy. He was selectively breeding dogs to get this specific combination of traits. He wanted that imposing presence, that alertness, that unwavering loyalty, and damn did he succeed. The Doberman quickly became this symbol of discipline, a guardian in the truest sense. You look at a Doberman and there's just this aura about them. You know, it's that sleek, powerful build, those alert ears, that intense gaze. They were bred for a job, and it shows in every fiber of their being. They weren't just pets, they were personal security details on four legs, a living deterrent. Then you switch gears and look at the Belgian Malinois. Completely different part of Europe, Belgium, obviously. And their original gig? Herding. Yeah, a herding dog. Sounds almost tame compared to the Doberman's origin, right? But hold on, because this is where it gets wild. These dogs weren't just nudging sheep around a field. The tale of the tape physical strength and blazing speed. All right, let's talk about what these dogs are physically packing, because it's impressive, to say the least. When you look at a Doberman, you're seeing a serious athlete, man. These dogs are powerhouses. They can stand up to 28 inches at the shoulder, which is a pretty damn tall dog, and they can weigh in at around 100 pounds, sometimes even more. And a lot of that is pure, lean muscle. They're not bulky in a clumsy way. They're built for speed and power, like a finely tuned muscle car. That sleek coat, the deep chest. It all points to an animal designed for explosive movement and endurance in a chase. And when they decide to move, Dobermans can hit speeds of up to 32 miles per hour. That's fast, man. Think about trying to outrun that. It's not happening for most humans, that's for sure. Their whole structure, from their powerful legs to their aerodynamic build, is geared towards pursuit and, if necessary, combat. They have this commanding presence that comes not just from their look, but from the undeniable physical capability they project. You see a Doberman on alert, and you instinctively know this is not an animal to be trifled with. It's that combination of size, strength, and speed that makes them so formidable. Now let's look at the Belgian Malinois. On paper, they might seem a little less imposing in terms of sheer bulk. They're generally a bit smaller than the Doberman, usually maxing out around 80 pounds, maybe a bit less for females. The business and bite force and combat instincts. Now we get to the pointy end of the spear, so to speak. Bite force and how these dogs fight. This is serious business, man. The Doberman, with that powerful jaw and muscular neck, they pack a serious punch. We're talking a bite force estimated around 305 psi, pounds per square inch. Now, to put that in perspective, that's more than enough to cause significant damage, potentially even break bones. It's a formidable weapon, and they know how to use it. When a Doberman commits to a bite, it's often with incredible precision and determination. Their attacks aren't wild or sloppy, they're focused. Dobermans were bred for protection, and that instinct is deeply ingrained. Once they lock onto a target, whether it's a protective sleeve in training or, God forbid, a real threat, they have this tenacity. They don't back down easily. It's that combination of power and resolve that makes their bites so effective. They're not just nipping, they're aiming to control and neutralize a threat. That's a level of intensity that you have to respect. It's a serious deterrent and a powerful offensive tool. Then you look at the Belgian Malinois. Alright, let's shift gears from the physical to the mental, because this is where things get really interesting, especially with the Malinois. When we talk about intelligence and trainability in dogs, the Belgian Malinois is consistently at the top of the charts, man. These dogs are wicked smart. They're ranked as one of the most intelligent working dog breeds out there, and for good reason. They learn commands with astonishing speed, sometimes picking things up in just a few repetitions. It's like their brains are just wired for learning and problem solving. It's not just about learning simple tricks either. Malinois can understand and remember a complex series of tasks. Some experts say they can learn and retain up to 50 distinct commands or tasks, which is just incredible. Chapter 5. The long haul, endurance, and pain tolerance. This is a big one, man, because it's not just about explosive power or smarts. It's about who can keep going when things get tough. Endurance and pain tolerance are critical for any working dog, especially those in demanding roles. Dobermans, they've got excellent endurance for many activities. They're athletic, they can run, they can play, they can work for good stretches of time. They were bred to be guardians, and that requires a certain level of stamina to stay alert and responsive. They're not dogs that tire out after a quick walk around the block, that's for sure. However, there are a couple of things to consider with Dobermans when it comes to extreme, prolonged stress. They have a single coat, which means they can be a bit more sensitive to extreme temperatures, particularly cold. And, like many larger, deep-chested breeds, they can be prone to overheating if pushed too hard in hot weather. Also, under really extreme physical duress over long periods, there can be concerns about joint issues, which is common in many powerful athletic breeds. So while their baseline endurance is good, there are some limiting factors in super extreme conditions. Chapter 6. The approach, defensive and offensive behavior. So, how do these dogs actually behave when it comes to protecting their territory or engaging a threat? This is where their core breeding really comes to the surface. Dobermans, as we've discussed, were bred as personal protection dogs, and that instinct is incredibly strong. They are naturally territorial and highly protective of their family and their home. When a Doberman perceives a threat, their reaction is often immediate, direct, and powerful. There's not a lot of hesitation. Their offensive behavior is characterized by speed and intimidation. A Doberman charging at you is a terrifying sight, man. They use their size, their speed, and that powerful bark to try and deter a threat first. But if that doesn't work, they are more than capable of escalating to physical engagement. Their attack is meant to be decisive and to neutralize the threat quickly. It's a very upfront, this is my territory, you're not welcome kind of approach. It's a clear and unambiguous display of defensive aggression when triggered. Now, the Belgian Malinois, while also fiercely protective and capable of incredible aggression when necessary, often exhibits a different style, especially those trained for police or military work. They are frequently trained for both stealth and surprise. Chapter 7. The Showdown Real-World Combat Scenario, Hypothetical. Alright, this is what everyone's been waiting for, right? The hypothetical head-to-head. If we put a prime Doberman and a prime Belgian Malinois in a controlled confrontation, what happens? Now, obviously, this is all speculation, and so many factors would come into play. Individual dog temperament, training, the specific environment. But based on their general breed characteristics, we can make some educated guesses. It's a fascinating thought experiment, man. In a controlled confrontation, say in a large open area, the Doberman might very well land the first significant impression, if not the first blow. They are fast, they are powerful, and their sheer presence is incredibly intimidating. A Doberman charging in, barking, showing that full-on aggressive display that's designed to make an opponent think twice. Their initial onslaught could be overwhelming, relying on that size, strength, and direct, powerful attack style we talked about. They're built for that kind of impact. However, this is where the Malinois' unique skill set comes into play. The Malinois is a master of adaptation and evasion. While the Doberman is bringing that heavy artillery, the Malinois is likely to be using its superior agility and speed to sidestep, to reposition, to look for an opening. They are not typically dogs that will go head-to-head in a pure strength contest if they can avoid it. Outro, the final verdict, and the champion is. So who wins this elite clash? While the Doberman brings brute force, speed, and commanding presence, the Malinois outmatches with agility, tactical intelligence, and military-level endurance. Final verdict. Belgian Malinois wins with a 60% advantage over the Doberman. But remember, both are incredible breeds, and the true winner depends on the mission. Do you agree with our verdict? Drop your thoughts in the comments and tell us who you think would take the crown. Man, what a battle of titans. Both of these breeds are just phenomenal in their own right, absolute peak canine athletes and protectors. The Doberman is an icon, a symbol of loyalty and power, and you gotta respect that. But when you break it all down, the Belgian Malinois, with that insane combination of intelligence, agility, and relentless drive, just seems to have the edge in a wider range of demanding scenarios. It's that adaptability that's so damn impressive. But hey, that's just our take here at Cars HD. The best dog always depends on what you need it for, right? For sheer intimidating presence and powerful, direct protection, the Doberman is a legend. For complex tactical work and unwavering endurance, the Malinois is in a class of its own. We want to hear from you guys. What do you think? Did we get it right? Who's your champion in this ultimate canine showdown? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more deep dives. Thanks for watching.